Recording live from the Northeast Georgia Business RadioX studio. This is Northeast Georgia Business Radio. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. I'm your host, Tom Sheldon, and yes, we're coming to you live from the beautiful Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. I have with me a great guest. She might be a little bit nervous, but I've got to talk to her a little bit outside of the studio. She's a lot of fun to hang out with. So we're going to get it out over before we finish up today. With me today, Miss Patty Taylor with Patty and Design. Patty, welcome to the Northeast studio.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
How are you?
I'm good. And yes, good. Nervous.
Nothing is shocking you or anything yet, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. I noticed you took the headphones off. The joke the producer made about it shocking you was not true. It really wasn't. You're a designer. You do signs. You do all the above.
Yes. So we're full spectrum interior and exterior signage. But that does include logo design and some branding and that kind of stuff also.
Now, you've got a cool motto. I guess it's a motto. I saw immediately the first time I ever met you. I touch signs or something like that. That's awesome.
Right. So
that gets attention.
Right. That came up actually in a chamber meeting because I had stood up and given my 30-second spiel.
Right.
And then I was approached after by someone that deals with public speaking and that kind of stuff. And he said to me, you seem very uncomfortable. You should find something that's important to you and quit trying to sell people on what you think that they want.
So I Touch Signs was born.
Right. It certainly was. And it's actually real. I touch signs everywhere I go.
Nice.
So a lot of times I'll be, especially like the hospitals and urgent care and those kind of things, because they have cool signs. And I need to know how they're made and if they're textured, and it just turned into a thing. And now I have friends that will catch me out and about and take pictures of me because
you're shaking these signs down more.
Right, absolutely. I need to know more information.
Nice. You're picking them apart, pulling them apart, peeling back the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
For real.
You really do that. So
Absolutely.
I Touch Signs really has a physical meaning.
Yeah, and funny story, I was heading into urgent care with my daughter. She's 17. She grabbed my hand as we were heading in. Of course, as mom, I'm thinking, oh, sweet. She's holding my hand. We're heading in. I was all tickled,
Nice.
Right? Well, the truth of that is that she didn't want me touching the signs when we got inside. So it is very real.
Now, how old is daughter?
She's 17.
Okay. She's a teenager now.
Yeah.
I got you. Was that recently?
Yeah, that really was recently.
Well, moms aren't as cool in those teen years.
Right.
They're just not. But soon you'll be cool again.
Right.
Eventually.
Well, I hope so.
So full spectrum interior and exterior, is that just for, say, businesses, or do you do decorating, signs for decorating?
Well, we do work with some interior decorators. We've got a job right now where we're actually putting full panels of frosted vinyl on. It's an engineering company. I'm working directly with their designer, and they have two offices that are, the whole front of them is glass from top to bottom.
Right.
And they need privacy for those rooms.
I got you.
And so we are putting up these huge frosted glass panels or vinyl to
run vinyl
to
down
create,
it, and
to create
whatever design you want on it.
Yeah, well, and you can digitally print on there, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff on there. These guys are specifically just doing it frosted, so that their main thing is they just don't want you to be able to see in.
No, I'm with you on that. And quite honestly, that's not permanent.
No.
You could take it down.
Absolutely.
Or even change it.
Yep.
You get tired of it.
Absolutely. It's very easy to do.
That's pretty smart. Now, I saw on social media, though, you put a gigantic, I think it was a logo, some type of sign logo, on a cinder block wall.
Yeah, so there's a lot
Tell me about that, because we're in a 30-year-old high school, right? There are cinder blocks all around me. So that kind of hits home. What if I want a big, massive sign logo put on the wall? You're my girl for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Talk to me about that, just real quick.
There's so
Very
many
intriguing.
different types of materials now. And that stuff that we did there was digitally printed on vinyl that when we applied it, it was on the surface, but then we had to go back and heat it with the heat gun, and you have to get it to a certain heated temperature.
Right.
And then you go back, and literally our thumbs were raw
I bet.
from doing that install.
You're mushing it in.
Yeah.
Because cinder block is not smooth, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Those who don't know cinder block.
And it was very cool because not only the cracks and crevices of the cinder block,
Right.
but then the actual divots and pieces in, so the blocks itself as well as like the grout in the sides and the edges. And it just kind of molded to all of it. It was very difficult to tell if it was painted or if it was vinyl.
That's the end result you want.
Yeah, it turned out really good.
Cool. I had to touch on that because I saw that a couple weeks ago whenever you did that.
Yeah, that was right
Pretty
here in Winder.
Was it really? So why signs? Why signs? How did you get to that point?
Well, so
Change names creatively, protect the innocent, the
Right.
not so innocent. How did you didn't just wake up and say, signs?
it actually, I've been in signs for 25 years.
So you started when you were like 4.
Exactly.
I got you.
That is exactly right.
That's cool. That's cool.
I was in college, and I was actually going to do set design for theater.
Oh, okay.
And I was a fine arts major and loving the whole artsy stuff that we
Right.
were doing in school. But I applied for a temp job at a sign shop because the girl was going to go out and have her baby, and then she was supposed to be coming back. She went and had her baby
I see where
and
this is going.
did not come back.
She did not come back.
And 19 years later, I was still there. It was really the best thing that could have happened. I actually quit college because I had found what I liked doing.
Absolutely.
So, and with that, I started in production. So I started doing all the hands-on stuff, what actually helps me later when I get to the designing part of it because I understood what needed to be done out in the field.
The designing and then the actual physical product, can there be a rift between that?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm serious. I know nothing.
Absolutely.
So, we'll design this. This will look great. And then
Yeah.
when it physically is done, you're like, yeah, we can't do that.
It actually is
That
a
happens.
huge thing in our industry. There's a big running joke, and anybody in the sign industry would understand that the production team very much talks about the designers and the fact that they just design things and then expect the production to figure out how to make
You're
it
supposed to be
happen.
a miracle worker
Yeah,
at that point.
exactly.
Yeah, we do the same thing in the podcast world. We have these producers that come in, and anyway, we won't go down that road. Sorry. There. What were we talking about, Patty? I'm sorry. I
Right.
got distracted. He's over there shaking his head. All right, I see something on your bio. ADA compliant. What in the world is that? ADA. ADA compliant signs?
So I actually have taken some classes and I have some certification for ADA compliant signage.
What does that mean?
That is all the signs that are in public spaces that have the raised letters and the braille on them.
Oh, okay.
And
I got you.
actually, if you are open to the public, you're supposed to have ADA compliant signage.
Really?
Yes, so everything in your interior is supposed to have raised letters and braille if you are open to the public.
Everything, select places.
So there are things like directories and non-important, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but there are things that don't have to be ADA compliant. But then any rooms, restrooms,
Right.
anything, especially, you see, that's what you see in hospitals and doctors' offices and schools. It has to be all-inclusive, basically.
The braille.
Yeah.
That's what ADA
Right.
is.
And the big thing with us being ADA compliant specialists is that there's all kinds of rules and regulations for
Imagine that,
how tall the letters are, how thick the letters are, the size of the signs, all of that stuff, but also installation. They have to be a certain height from the ground. They have to be on a certain side of the door, and they have to be a certain space from the door jamb. And this
That makes sense.
has to be universal throughout everywhere so
Right.
that people with disabilities know where to find the signs.
Yeah, the uniformity, they know so high off the ground. Yeah.
Exactly.
That
And it
makes
has
sense.
to be accessible from a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Never thought of that.
Right.
You are certified.
Right. So we stay up on the
Was that a
changes
long-
and all of that stuff so the client doesn't have to.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, is that an ever-changing?
Yeah, it doesn't change a lot, but there are little things that change here and there. with technicalities of it.
Sure.
But then with us being certified in it, it allows people to order signs from us, not having to know all those things, and just know that their stuff's going to be compliant.
Can they get fined if?
Absolutely,
If,
they can.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep.
I imagine that could get expensive for them if that changed all the time.
Oh, true.
You got to redo this, and then we just did that again, and yuck.
Yeah.
Or if Company X does it wrong, which you do it right.
We actually had a situation where we repositioned. It was an installation issue.
Right. But someone didn't know.
Yeah, they did not.
They weren't up on it.
Exactly.
Your bathroom placards will have Braille underneath them.
Which comes back to the iTouch signs. I can't read Braille, but I touch them every time I go somewhere.
Makes sense. No, it makes a lot of sense. Nice. Now, you have you have a new space, a new warehouse? Didn't you guys move recently?
Yep, we sure did. So
We should say you are in Winder, correct?
Yes, I'm in Winder.
You are in Winder.
And I've actually been in this new space for about a month now.
How you liking it?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
So crazy thing is this has been in my house for 6 years. It's been in my dining room.
Okay.
And then this year, as things got busy, I added equipment in my living room.
Oh, wow.
And in my spare bedroom.
Of course.
We literally had the couch facing one way while we were working, and then we would move the couch the other direction when we wanted to watch TV. So it was getting a little out of hand. It was
Definitely taking your work home with you.
Right. And I didn't realize that how messed up my work-life balance was because work and life were just one and the same.
Just blurred.
Right. One and the same for sure.
So you got a new spot.
Yep. So we're in Winder. We're in a building where it's perfect for us to get started.
Good.
We've got everything in there, and we have been just rocking and rolling for the past month. So I didn't, funny thing is I didn't realize that my house actually smelled like a sign shop. I
imagine it did.
Yeah, my house smells different now, which is so weird because I didn't realize it. So I am thankful for that.
What's the sweet spot for you? What do you work with the most? Vinyl?
We do a lot of vinyl, a lot of digital vinyl. Things are getting interesting, though.
Tell me about this.
There's things like the cinder block vinyl. Mm-hmm. There's things like the etched vinyl. There's a lot more going on rather than just one color on a vehicle.
Right.
There's even now, we're kind of messing around a little bit with heat transfer vinyl. And that's basically where I'm using the same machines, doing the same stuff with a different kind of vinyl that can be heat pressed right onto shirts or flags or, garments or apparel.
Cloth.
Yeah. Yep.
I got you. Now, do you get into the vehicle wraps?
We don't wrap. We'll do partial wraps. We'll do vehicle graphics.
Lettering,
yeah, we do vehicle lettering.
That's a whole different world, the wrap part.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, there was a time not too long ago where there was a bunch of people that came onto the scene claiming they could wrap.
Oh, wow.
And they were doing it for cheap, and they were doing a terrible job.
I bet they were.
So now...
That is an art.
Oh, it definitely is. They go to school for it.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Or they don't, and then you get
They
what
claim
you get.
they do.
Yeah, you get what you get.
School? What school? Yeah, I know what school.
Yeah, I'm
went to the
certified
10th
on
grade.
the internet.
Is that a thing? That's not a thing. Well, congratulations on the new location.
Well, thank you. I
Very
appreciate
cool.
it. It's
And your
it's pretty
house,
exciting.
and your house not smelling like a print shop.
Yeah, I think congratulations on having my house back is just
Congratulations
as
on
important.
getting your house back.
Right?
It was always nice. You just didn't realize it.
Right.
Now, you do a lot of networking.
I do.
That's how you and I met.
Yes.
You're big in the Barrow Chamber, are you?
I am very big in the Barrow Chamber. Those guys have really been a game changer for me. I moved up here about 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
From the Conyers. I started my business down in Conyers.
Rockdale County.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And
Know it well.
Yeah, it was time to get out of Rockdale County
No
and
doubt,
come
no
up
doubt.
here. The Barrow Chamber really opened up that opportunity for me to grow my business up here.
They're a very embracing group.
They very much are.
Really?
And I'll tell you, the cool thing about that was I actually had a social media photo shoot that was already planned when I moved up here. And the day before the social media photo shoot, they let me know that I needed to have a fake client, someone that was there to be in the photos, to be shaking hands, to be acting like I was having a meeting for my website and that kind of stuff. And I didn't have anybody. I didn't know anybody. And it was Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. People have jobs. I called the Barrow Chamber, and Vicki showed up at my house.
No doubt.
And she was in all my social media. And so, of course, then before she left, she said, "So, you're going to join the chamber, right?" And of course, the answer was absolutely, I am.
Of course I am. No, some really cool folks. Tommy and Vicki and Amy, they're great. They really are. They've been good to myself and Northeast Georgia Business Radio. So.
Yeah, I joined the ambassador group with them last year. So last year I actually got ambassador of the year last year.
Congratulations.
And I also had the honor of having the business of the week 1 week last year.
No, I hear they just give that. No, I'm kidding.
No, they actually do. No.
Well, I know a couple guys that have recently had it. I'm just saying. I'm ripping on them.
Yeah, that's been, and I'll tell you one thing about the chamber that amazes me, because I hear a lot from people, because I do a lot of business mentoring for the chamber with the ambassador team. And I hear a lot of people say, well, the chamber doesn't do anything for me. And
depends on what chamber you're going to, folks.
Well, and that's the thing with Barrow Chamber. They have all these opportunities, but you have to show up.
Yes. If you sit in the corner on your hands, that is what you end up with.
Exactly.
In any chamber, any business alliance, before we get out of here, I know there's something that you want to talk about. I think it's pretty cool. I've been in and out of business my whole life, and I knew nothing about this. Women-owned business certification. You're going down the road to become certified. Save me on this. What am I saying wrong? Women-owned business certification.
Exactly. So
you're entering that.
I am. I just started the ball rolling. Well, I am part of the SBDC, the Small Business Development Group. So I've had a mentor from the SBDC most of my business career.
Is that a state organization?
It is. So it's a free service. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that a second.
Listeners need to know about this. I don't know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I go to Athens. They believe they have a branch in Gainesville and maybe another one that's accessible from around here.
Sure.
But they have a service where it's free to me, and he's my small business coach. And I go see him once a month, or I go see him twice a month, or I send him emails that say, "Hey, I got this going on and that going on."
Really?
And those guys they've got a lot of webinars and continuing education classes. So I took a Grow Smart class with them, which was all about how to grow my business.
Nice.
But they've been very influential in being able to do, because I knew my industry. I know signs. I didn't know a thing about running a business.
And that happens to most of us.
Right.
It really does.
And
I'm really, really good at this, but then the business end of it, the back end of it, what do I do now?
Exactly.
That's common.
And the biggest thing is that if you fill your network with people that can help with those things that you don't understand,
it helps.
Then you can succeed. But if you try to do all that on your own, you're going to fail.
Well, yeah, you're going to be lost. You're going to be overwhelmed. Unfortunately, sometimes we give up. Not because we want to. You can't go any farther.
Right, because you don't know any better.
You hit the point of exhaustion, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was that again? No, SBDC?
Okay, now you said that. And SBDC, so it's Small Business Development Center.
SBDC.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a rock band out of the 80s.
Right.
Never mind. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. There's a website. You can Google it.
Oh, absolutely.
People can find this.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's a valuable resource.
It is a very valuable resource.
Who knows who you just helped? I'm dead serious.
Yeah, and I actually very highly recommend them.
I didn't know
it has been, there was a point where I went and sat in David's office and I said, I can't do this.
Right.
And he said, okay, let's figure this out.
Nice.
So that was a huge turning point for me, that I probably would have hung it up if I hadn't had him backing me up. So.
Gotcha. So now, is that how you learned about the women-owned business certification?
Exactly. So bringing it back to that,
yes.
Right? So it's been probably 2 years now. He's been on my case about doing this certification. It is a pretty intense process. With help, with paying for someone to help me instead of doing it all myself. They're looking at 3 to 5 months to be able to complete the certification. They even send somebody out because you have to prove that you're a woman-owned business and that there is a woman that is doing the day-to-day stuff and making the decisions. Exactly.
Right.
He's been on my case about it, and actually a month or so ago, I was sitting in his office, and he said, okay, you have till the first of the year.
Oh, wow.
Period.
Nice.
And I was like, well, fine then, be that way. So I've just gotten the ball rolling. I'm learning more about it. I do feel like it's going to be a very beneficial thing. It's just getting through the logistics of getting the certification. And then the certification has to be renewed each year.
Okay.
But you don't have to go through the process again.
Right.
You just have to pay them your money.
You got to pay a fee.
So, yeah.
I got you. Any idea what the next 3 to 5 months looks like? Are you attending seminars, classes? Are you having to go places? They're going to come visit you, obviously.
They are. So I am...
How in-depth does this get?
I'm really leaning towards... Originally, I was going to do it all myself. And that would mean classes and webinars and a lot of learning. Because there is a lot of
knowledge,
right, a lot of logistics. Through the SBDC, he had handed me over a link to a company that helps me through that process.
Good.
I have really decided it's going to be beneficial to have them hold my hand because it's just
they're
it's a
working
lot.
with you. They're working with
you. They understand it. I don't.
Right.
So...
Well, if they can save you frustration, that's more than worth it.
Well, and another cool thing about that is they actually provide me with like an email template to market. So once I have my certification, they provide me with the paperwork or the emails and the templates that I need to be able to start letting people know that I'm a woman-owned business, certified, and that's how I'll be able to start benefiting and getting jobs.
What are the benefits? You have opportunities.
So it very much is government-based. So there are large corporations, yes, so government contracts. There's large corporations are required to spend money with minority-owned, women-owned, or veteran-owned. Okay. And the government is one of them. There's a certain percentage of money that they have to spend on vendors that have those certifications.
I got you. It's almost like preferred vendors list, sort of.
Yes.
I'm not trying to cheapen anything.
No, actually, that's where I want to be.
You darn right you do. Take advantage of every opportunity because if you don't, someone's going to.
Exactly.
Dead serious.
And there's a niche, I guess, for under a certain amount of money, you don't even have to bid on the jobs. As they get to know you and you become a known vendor, then when the job is under a certain amount of money, they can automatically just use me because I'm certified.
I got you.
As opposed to
they trust you.
having to do the bid process.
They know you. We sell relationships, right?
Right.
Ultimately.
So those are
that's awesome.
Starting with the local guys here in our area, and I'll actually be certified for all states except for California and Florida. So I'll be able to.
Why am I not surprised at that?
Right, I know.
Sorry.
I'll be able to market to all of those. Then I make the signs and I ship them to them. So.
Oh wow.
I won't even have to
no road trips.
Go there. Right. Some of it. I mean, hey, I got no problem making a few
I enjoy
trips.
good road trips. I've driven my whole life. What can I say? That's really exciting. That's cool.
I am very excited about it.
That's very cool.
I'm excited to be done with the logistics part of it and start seeing. Well, and there is a federal government side of it where I'm only doing the state level right now. But I can add the federal level later if I want to.
Gotcha.
And I can work with federal government doing contracts and stuff for them.
Nice. Well, bless the SBDC for getting you on that track. Very
sure.
cool. All right, we got a website.
Yes.
PattyAnnDesign.com.
Yes, sir.
And that's the PATTYANN design.com. Patty Ann. I'm betting that's your name. If not, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be. And you're on LinkedIn, right?
I am.
Patty Ann Design as well on LinkedIn. Patty, what did we leave out? Anything? We've been going for almost 30 minutes.
Wow. Okay, so you were right.
You survived.
Right, exactly.
I like when my guests survive.
It went
very
fast.
bad PR when they don't.
Yeah.
Very bad PR.
Well, then they need a spot on your wall.
Yeah, well, we need you on the community partner wall. Community partner wall is growing. It is growing. Seriously, though, what did we miss before you run out of here?
I mean, I think that
We covered a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. We've got a lot of really great things going on and coming our way. So I'm thankful, and
Nice.
I'm going to continue touching signs.
Continue touching signs. And congratulations on getting your home back.
Right. Thank you.
And the women-owned business certification. That's just really cool. Good luck with that.
Well, I appreciate it.
They're playing my music. That means I have to wrap up. Patty, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Folks, another great episode. Hey, check Patty out. PattyAnnDesign.com. She's a lot of fun to hang out with. She really is. I'm Tom Sheldon. We'll talk to you soon.